We had some septic repair work done here in the yard a while ago, which left us with this area that needed some attention. We used the ProPlugger to transplant some Zoysia from another area of the lawn to this bare area, and we'll quickly show you how we did it. Jeannie's starting the process by taking plugs out of the bare spot in order to create planting holes we'll need for the Zoysia plugs that we'll be harvesting. She's using the 2-inch depth ring on the ProPlugger, which will create perfect 2-inch deep planting holes. You can see that the ground is pretty wet. We've had a lot of rain lately, which makes our clay soil a little mucky. This makes plugs a little bit more prone to get stuck inside the tube, so you'll see that it takes a little extra effort for her to empty the plugger. Ideally, we should have waited a few days to let the soil dry out before doing some plugging, but we'll limp through the project today. She continues to repeat the process of pulling plugs about every 6 inches apart until the entire transplant area is ready for new plugs. Harvesting the donor plugs is basically the same process of step, twist, pull. However, I'm harvesting plugs every 3 or 4 inches apart so that I can get more donor plugs from a smaller area. By using that same 2-inch depth ring that Jeannie was using to create the planting holes, we now have plugs that will slide nicely into their new home. Once I've pulled plugs and filled the tube, I take them over to the transplant area and empty the plugger next to the planting holes. And then we just start pressing the Zoysia plugs into place. We're filling in the holes we created with composted garden soil for a couple of reasons. First, it doesn't have any weed seeds in it. And second, our clay soil here in North Carolina is always in need of some amendments. After all the plugging is finished and the holes have been filled in, it's time to water both areas. And just like planting sod, plugs have to be watered until they overcome the transplant shock and put down roots into the good soil. Our watering schedule is very similar to watering new sod. We water twice a day for the first 2 weeks. Then we drop it back down to once a day for week number 3, and then every other day for week 4. Here's a shot of the plugs about 5 weeks after the transplant. As you can see, the plugs have overcome their transplant shock well and have begun to grow up nicely and start spreading. We're hoping to see full coverage next year. You can also use the 4-inch and 6-inch depth of the ProPlugger to plant your spring and fall flower bulbs, do some weeding on those hard-to-kill taproots, or even do some drip edge fertilizing for your trees. Visit ProPlugger.com to learn more.